Ever tried reading while jogging, cooking, or even juggling flaming torches? Yeah, it doesn't end well. But with audiobooks.com, you can conquer books without the circus act. Dive into over 450,000 titles, including more than 10,000 free ones. Get hooked on a bestseller, find your next obsession, or finally read that classic you've been avoiding since high school. And here's the inside scoop. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial and snag your first 3 audiobooks on the house. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
This episode is brought to you by Old Bike Barn. Check them out at oldbikebarn.com or on Instagram at Old Bike Barn. If you need something for your bike or you need something in regards to riding gear, that is a source to go to first. So check them out, Old Bike Barn. They got everything you need for your bike, whether it's a vintage Japanese bike or your Harley or American bike. They got it. It's cool when you go to the site because it's broken up by like type too. Like, you know, if you're looking specifically for something for a cafe racer, they got a cafe racer section. If you're looking for something for a chopper, they got a chopper section and whatnot. They also have their own line of American-made in-house leather goods and knives, and under the White Knuckler brand, and all kinds of good shit. So check them out at oldbikebarn.com. If you're having trouble sleeping, like insomnia, or any kind of inflammation or inflammatory issues or sore muscles, things like that, anxiety, anything in those lines, you need to check out Cradle Lake Clear. They make some of the best CBD oil there is on the market. They use all pure organic ingredients. Everything is processed to the highest standards. Check out cradlelakeclear.com. There's all kinds of information on the website about what sets them apart from other CBD oils. This ain't some fucking shit you pick out on the counter of the bodega, you know, when you're buying a 40 of Schlitz. You know what I mean? This is real deal stuff. And anytime I use it, I sleep like a little baby. And it's awesome because sometimes I have trouble sleeping, man. I go lay down, my mind starts firing, going in all directions. That stuff keeps you focused and helps you pass out. And not for nothing, you know, I wake up, I'm at the gym 5-6 days a week, and you know, like I just feel good. I don't have the same soreness and stuff. So and literally they don't give me any script. Like this is customer testimony, you know what I mean? Like it's a really good product. And in this day where there's so much CBD stuff out there, there's a lot of bullshit. These dudes are legit and real deal. So check them out, cradlelakeclear.com. I don't know about where you are, but it was a humid one this week. I mean, bad. We got in the hundreds, you know, high humidity, and you know what that means. Swampy grundle, fucking sticky nutsack, chafing, all those fucking horrible things that happen in the summer, especially to dudes. If you are falling victim to any of these things, you need to it's not even deforest yourself. You need to clear out that jungle that lies, you know, from that whole area. You know what I mean? From your balls down below. Check out manscaped.com. They got a lawnmower 3.0. It's a razor with these special ceramic blades that make things so that you will not be as apt to get hurt down there. You know, it's not easy to get cut or scrapes or anything. So for your delicate areas, check out manscaped.com. Get the lawnmower 3.0. They got all kinds of other seasonal and ball type of elixirs and potions and creams and things. Anti-chafing cream. They got ball deodorant, all kinds of stuff that you need on those hot summer sweaty days. So check them out, manscaped.com. And now the best part of it is use the promo code BIGTRUTH at checkout. You will get 20% off your order and free shipping. So manscaped.com, promo code BIGTRUTH at checkout for 20% off your order and free shipping. While we're talking about 20% off, you need to check out Omerta, toughest and most real legit streetwear brand that there is out there right now. So check them out, omertamia.com. That's OMERTAMIA, or on Instagram at omertamia. Whatever you need, whether you need a hoodie, you need a t-shirt, you need gloves, scarves. I mean, you don't really need a scarf right now, but you might live in Alaska or some shit. Socks, all kinds of apparel, all kinds of cool shit. They got a lot of limited run stuff. Most of their stuff is made in-house on American-made apparel wherever possible. So check them out, omertamia.com, OMERTAMIA. Code of Streets. You know what I mean? Keep your mouth shut. Do your shit. Mind your own business, right? If you use the promo code BigTruth at checkout there, you will get 20% off your order. And if you use the promo code BigTruth at checkout, you'll get 20% off your order at Cradle Lake Clear. So make sure you go into Cradle Lake Clear, find all the stuff you want, use the promo code BigTruth at checkout, you will get 20% off that order. If you happen to be in the unfortunate situation where you find yourself in a motorcycle accident, you need to check out Law Tigers at lawtigers.com. It's a motorcycle law firm that was established by riders, for riders, and they specialize specifically in motorcycle accidents. If you go to Facebook and type in Law Tigers plus your state, for example, I live in Massachusetts, I would type in Law Tigers in Massachusetts. It gets you in touch with the local office. So that's probably the best thing to do. If not, just go to lawtigers.com and they will get you where you need to go. Hope you never need that one, but if you do, it's a good card to have in your pocket. If you're into weird shit, dark shit, like the occult, like, you're in your room listening to Lovecraft, books on tape or something, you know what I mean? Or Aleister Crowley reading Black Magic. If you're into psychedelic shit, mushrooms or fucking psilocybin or fucking acid and fucking 60s fucking cults and fucking motorcycles and choppers and 60s custom culture, vans, show vans, boogie vans, whatever, fucking antisocial behavior, street weaponry, any of this stuff sounds appealing to you at all, you need to check out my man Zach Doom's company, which is Heavy Clothing. On Instagram, just at Heavy Clothing or heavy.bigcartel.com. They got what you need, you know what I mean? So any of those things resonate with you, you need to go check out Heavy at heavy.bigcartel.com or Heavy Clothing. And if you are still looking for more clothing and whatnot, you need to check out Pitchfork at pitchforkny.com. Probably one of the most recognizable brands in like punk, hardcore, metal, and extreme music. They also got a record label, and they put out a limited edition 7-inch series called the Back to School series, and they just put out the new New York Hardcore compilation. So check them out, pitchforkny.com. If you ride motorcycles, build motorcycles, chop motorcycles, you need to check out chopcult.com. They're the biggest online information resource for this type of stuff, meaning it's an old school like online type message board, biggest one out there, broken up by topic, so it's really easy to kind of navigate and see what you're looking for, whether you need tech tips or you're just looking to bullshit about stuff. Check them out, chopcult.com. They got an online message board where you can buy, sell, trade parts. They got a online events page where you can see about motorcycle events that are happening in your area. They'll send you email messages if you want to be on their email list, and they kind of give you updates about what's going on. All kinds of shit, and it's absolutely free, and they don't ask for a credit card or anything like that. So you just go to chopcult.com, sign up, and it's the easiest thing you could do, and you'll be stoked that you did. If you happen to be in New England ever at any point, you need to come by my shop, Chop Ahead Customs, and we're located at 13 County Road in East Freetown, Massachusetts. You call us 508-995-6764. We're a full service brick and mortar motorcycle shop, which means if you need an oil change or you need a full custom chopper built or anything in between, motorcycle audio, customization, motor work, speed work, performance stuff, whatever it is you need, we can do it, and we have the parts, and we to do it. And if you want to do it yourself, you can get the parts from us, whatever you want to do. We got a showroom and a parts counter. You can come in, check out helmets. We carry Simpson, Biltwell, Bell, Daytona, a good array of things. So come in, check. Don't play that game where you're guessing your helmet size. Come in, they all fit different. And all these guys have changed their manufacturing. So, a Biltwell from 4 years ago fits different than a Biltwell now. So come in, don't guess, and be the guy that has to send a fucking helmet back. It's annoying for you. It's annoying for the person you bought it from. Come in, check shit out, try it on, get the right size, be stoked. And that's what full-service motorcycle shops are for. We're not an online parts distributor selling out of a fucking storage unit. We're not fucking some big corpo box store that's reselling stuff. Like, we're a legitimate independent motorcycle shop. Check us out, chopahead.com. We do have a website where you can buy some apparel and parts and whatnot. It's limited what we got on there, but if there's something specific you're looking for, shoot me an email or give us a call, because we're pretty much connected to with everything. So if we don't have it on the website, that doesn't mean we don't have it in the shop or can't get it. And last but not least, check out bigtruthpodcast.com for more information on the podcast. And if you're really into this podcast and want to help support financially, go to patreon.com/bigtruth. And I want to give a big shout out to all the Patreon members out there. That's a way for listeners to be able to, basically financially support the podcast. There's 4 different tiers of membership there, and they all come with their own special things. And so, check it out. And last but not least, just make sure you hit like, subscribe, leave a review if you're into this podcast, because all of that stuff, being engaged, is what helps get this out there to more people. And everyone that's into it, I thank you, and I appreciate you all. But enough of me rambling. Let's get into today's episode right now.
The Big Truth Podcast. Ladies, gentlemen, get ready!
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
Yes, once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Big Truth Podcast. And today I'm stoked to have my man Reese Zylstra with me from Zylstra Choppers out in Michigan. What's happening, Reese?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Not much. So what I like about Reese is, like, I don't know, like years ago when I first got into choppers, and this will be some, this doesn't have to be the jump off, but like, I was like the lone punk and hardcore kid. Well, not the lone one, but one of the few in a world full of like Leonard Skinner graybeards and shit. You know what I mean? And through time, like, punk and hardcore had just kind of more ingrained itself in the motorcycle world, specifically in the chopper world. And it feels like a second home now, because like pretty much more often than not, everyone you meet is like someone from a similar background. I think the antisocialness of it all just kind of made everyone kind of progress from one to the other. But yeah, man,
Absolutely.
I know you've been holding it down out there in Michigan and whatnot. What's happening, man?
Well, it depends on the day. I do, like, a million different things, it feels like, anymore. I had a day job till last October, and COVID stuff kind of just basically forced my hand to quit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really good job, benefits, all that stuff, but I kind of was like planning on going out on my own at some point, and that was just, the icing on the cake that kind of forced my hand out. And I was like, you know what, dude, I have a lot of skills. I still have my CDL. I can do all the robot stuff. I was like, I'll figure it out, And literally the 3-week notice I gave them, I set up an LLC, went and got a vehicle loan, because I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to get one after that. So I went and bought a work truck, which I'd never had a fucking loan in my life on anything except the house,
Yeah.
And, I just kind of been winging it, but I'm busy as fuck, and I'm super grateful for, everybody that's bought stuff from me. I make a lot of fucking handlebars, shifters, and I'm doing frames for my buddy Eric at Mullins Chain Drive, and then I'm still doing a bunch of robot contracts. So a bunch of like the places I used to work keep hiring me back, so it's worked out really well.
Yeah, because now you can come back as an independent contractor and charge those contractor rates.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's I mean, I didn't know necessarily that was going to happen when I left, but it's worked out really good. So I have Zylstra Welding and Machine is my LLC, and then Zylstra Choppers is just everything else. Try to not pay fucking taxes on that part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I know my pain owning multiple businesses, but it's been a rude awakening having to they got it anyway before, right? But they just fucking take it every week. Now it's like, no, motherfucker, you got to figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, we're going to fucking take it anyway with interest.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so,
I mean, but the that's part of the thing with everything. Like, you tell people, like, people want to get in, open their own shop or do their own company, and it's like, well, you better have more than one hustle, motherfucker, because like, it can be feast and famine, but sometimes you're in that famine thing, you don't know how long, and it's like,
absolutely, dude. And I mean, I'm sure you can relate to this being an entrepreneur, but it's pretty great to see, like, I mean, all the punk kids I grew up with, and like even like dudes that I rode trains with, that was, you're like the lowest man on the fucking totem pole, right? You got nothing. Like half of them fucking own successful businesses now, or success in the fact that they get to do what they like doing for themselves, and they don't have a fucking boss.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. The gauge of success is very relative. Like it just it can be meaning free from a 9-to-5 grind, or it can mean or it can mean financially or whatever.
Right.
But to me, it's like, as long as I'm fucking paying the bills and paying my own personal bills and mortgage, like, I'm cool.
Right. Yeah. I saw something the other day. It's like, find something you love to do, and then you'll always just be working a little bit all of the time.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you'll never work another day in your life.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the reality of it is too. When I do get the robot contract, I kind of feel like I'm putting people off on the bike stuff a little bit, because I'm like, well, I got to fucking go do this because it pays really well, and that's kind of what keeps me afloat. And in reality, what actually pays the bills. But no, it's been really good, man. I can't fucking believe it's been since October already. It's been like 8 months, and I don't have any idea where the time went. So.
No, but that's good, man. So I mean, just to back up for a second, because like some people are going to be like, "What the fuck are they talking about? Robot contracts?
Right.
Like, what the fuck's a robot contract?" Like,
well, yeah. So I drove trucks for a long time. Like when I first, got off the streets and like tried to get my life together, I went and got my CDL, and I drove trucks for, I don't know, I guess it was like 6 or 7 years, something like that. And it was kind of just became really monotonous. At the end of the day, you have nothing to fucking show for what you did, right? And it was kind of unfulfilling for me. And I had been doing bike stuff and like, trying to teach myself, welding and fabrication, or just fucking bike stuff basically. And I'd gotten better at that point, and I kind of basically lied my way into this job. A friend of mine was an engineer there, and they did automated weld systems. So I say automated because instead of like robotic, which people think like a FANUC robot that welds, these are like, much simpler. It welds a fucking straight line, or it welds around a pipe, or, there's a lot of different applications for it. But I got in there basically because there's a fucking 40-year age gap of people that know how to run a Bridgeport or a lathe, or, can fucking do anything. Like everybody that's there doing that's like about to retire, right? And then they can't find anybody else good. So I got in there and did that for a few years, and I actually really liked it. I was making some fucking cool shit, and it was kind of in my wheelhouse. I got to do, a little bit of machining, a little lathe work, a little Bridgeport work, a little bit of welding, a little bit of assembly, and I was traveling and kind of doing some millwright stuff because some of them were fucking too big to even ship, right? You got to build them and tear it back down, load it up, ship it, and then they'd fucking fly me or drive to wherever and set it back up. So
nice.
It worked out pretty good, you know, and I was able to get better at things that I enjoyed doing or that I wanted to do, you know.
I'd say it probably helped you get skills for the bike stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, it kind of solidified what I was trying to do anyway, and I got to do it all day, every day. And that's, for me, like, I don't have a fucking natural bone of talent in my body, dude. I mean, I really don't. Everything comes hard for me. Like, I know people that pick up a TIG welder and a fucking year later, they're like incredible at it. And it fucking took me 10 years to get decent, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, I kind of put everything I had into doing this stuff. Like, you know, I fucking don't really play guitar anymore. I don't skateboard. I mean, I put all of my time and energy into doing this shit because I wanted to be good at it. And I know myself, and I know that that's what it was going to take to do it. So, you know, I mean, that's fucking part of getting older, right? You make sacrifices, or, you know, I guess some people do. Maybe some people don't. But for me, I had to, right? I was like, I'm fucking sick of being shitty at everything, right? I want to be decent at one thing, and if I take giving up other stuff to do it, that's what I have to do. So,
well, hell yeah, man. So, you know, almost, you know, you're not quite a year, but almost a year in for doing your own business, man. Like, what's been some of like the, I don't know, like the cool shit about that, or the downsides of that?
Well, one of the downsides is I fucking made a porcelain and I break a bone, it seems like every year. And like clockwork, 2 weeks ago, I was riding a fucking dirt bike at my friend's house and broke a rib.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, not going in for that. My mom's a nurse. I go over there and she had like a bunch of expired painkillers. And I was like, yeah, cool. Let me get some of those.
Yeah, well,
you know,
there's not like sick days like when you own your own business. Like
yeah, right, dude, right. Yeah, I mean, it kind of worked out in a way because, like, I haven't taken a vacation or, like, really done anything since I've been on my own. And my old lady and I have been planning this trip out to Montana. I just took a rental car out there. So I kind of got a week off just to sit, right, because I drove, like, 4,000 miles in a week. And I think that was probably, you know, one of the best things I could have done is just not be out here fucking lifting frames and using a press and, you know, contorting myself. So
yeah.
I mean, it's been 2 weeks now. I'm feeling all right. It sucks to fucking sneeze or cough, but I can still do, you know, most everything that I was doing out here. So.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. No, it sucks because you got no choice too. It's not like you could, you know, just take a week off like that.
No,
that really ain't, there's no option for that. Like,
no. I mean, I'm not even necessarily from like a financial standpoint. It's just like I got people waiting, and you know, I make deadlines and say I'm going to have shit done, and I want to have it done, you know, for people. So, I was doing 10 of these Mullen single loop frames for my friend Eric, and I got 4 more to go, so I'm at least kind of on the downhill of those.
Yeah.
So I've been like trying to get one a week done and still do, you know, all the other orders I had. And I kind of like, quote and unquote, close my books for a little while just so I could get caught up, because I don't want to be the guy that, you know, I mean, I know, you know, like who I'm talking about. Like, there's always that guy, you're like, yeah, you know, I had my fucking shit for a year or what. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. No, I know.
And it kind of is a hard decision to make, right? Because, you know, they're going to, you know, it's a fucking instant gratification Amazon world. They're going to go somewhere else half the time.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's, you know, that was just a decision I made. I'm like, I don't want to be that dude, you know.
No.
And fortunately for me, like, I have, you know, a handful of friends that are fucking really good at doing a lot of the same shit I do, or, you know, within that wheelhouse. So I'm like, oh, you know, hit this dude up, like, he'll do it, you know. My buddy Kevin down in Florida, he just kind of did what I did, right? Fucking quit his job and kind of had the same thing happen. They're like, well, we still want you to come back, like, on your own. So he's kind of doing, what I did. He's doing bike shit, and then he's doing consulting stuff and whatever. So, I mean, it's cool, dude. It's like I always say, there's enough fucking gold in these hills for everybody.
Absolutely.
There really is, man. I mean, there's such an abundance of people out there that need parts and need shit done, and I think that sometimes it's hard or like easy to forget that, like, it seems like, like, oh, everybody's on there like welding or making stuff, because it's like, or for me anyway, right? You get on Instagram or you look online and it's like, that's who I follow. It's better. You're like, oh yeah, there's all these people, but like the reality of it is there's probably one person doing that for every 100 people that are, trying to fucking ride choppers or bikes.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't know. I think there's fucking always going to be plenty of work doing this. And even if there isn't, dude, I'll fucking make something else,
Yeah.
So I try to keep that mindset, or, remind myself of that there's a lot of people that want stuff out there. And I think that there's, less people than what you think that are doing quality work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What got you started with doing the frames? Because I know I've seen you've been posting up a lot about the frame stuff, and like what got you into wanting to do that? It's fucking rad. They're nice frames too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're super nice. I mean, they're 4130 chromoly. They're pretty lightweight, pretty strong. They're a really nice looking frame. And I didn't really have much to do with the design of them. I used to make single loops with a guy like 7 years ago. And I think we ended up doing like 15 total. They were a little bit different. They had cast axle plates and, but it's still a single loop cradle with a raised trans. And, that kind of fizzled out. It's, it's like my dad says, partnership, the only ship that never sets sail. And, so, that kind of, and then since then I really didn't do any. I mean, I was doing hardtails, but it took me like 3 years to make this rotisserie frame fixture that I have. Cause I was just working on it like nights and weekends or in my spare time, or like sometimes doing some of the stuff at work. It's just to do what I wanted to do, or like what I had in my head. And then like the reality of doing it all by hand was a lot more time consuming than what I initially thought. So It kind of like sat, and then I'd work on it for a while and sat. But since I've had that done, I was just doing hardtails for a long time. And my friend Eric that's doing Mullins, we were talking, and I was like, so what's up with the, I knew that he had kind of like started the design process with another guy, and then I never really saw anything come of them. So I'm asking him, like, what's up with these frames? And he's like, well, I need somebody to do them, and I was like kind of volunteered to do them basically. So, all of that stuff got, mandrel bent out west and, shipped here. And then I, clean everything up, fit it up. And I mean, everything requires a little finesse, right? It's
of course,
not,
yeah. Nothing's
it
ever
doesn't
just
like, it's not, it doesn't come ready to glue together, but it's a lot better than doing them the long way like we used to do, where it's, cut every fucking piece out by hand. There's really no money in it anyway, to be honest. But there's definitely no money in doing it that way.
Yeah.
You have to fucking streamline the process a little bit, and to be somewhat competitive, because like anymore, if I have to do one from like start to finish by hand every piece, dude, I'd have to get like $3,000 for one.
I know. When that's what I was just gonna say is like you touched on two things, like in this one, the Amazon instant gratification world, but also that's driven prices down, and like people aren't like, I used to like, I did like studying and training and used to fuck around with like, metal shaping to be able to make like gas tanks and stuff. No one's going to pay you for a fucking gas tank to make from scratch anymore.
No.
In like 2005, you could find people that would pay for that, but like not anymore.
Right.
And especially since there's so many cool gas tanks that are just already stamped out. Like, what are you going to do? Like, if you do a complete custom thing, it's going to be so wacky that it's not even going to be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I mean, as well as I do, like, there's absolutely no way you could ever compete with a $200 gas tank.
No, like what are you gonna do? Yeah,
yeah. What are you gonna fucking do, right? And so, I mean, if I do have people that are like, no, I want, and I have, I think I did two gas tanks this year actually, but I just tell people to buy like at least the shell.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like buy like a shell that you like, and I'll put the fucking cap wherever you want, and make whatever tunnel you want, and put the filler wherever you want.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I've been doing too. Just like moving the cap up or something on one, and
right,
whatever,
right, and yeah, and anymore for my like, and I mean, I'm sure you remember too because you were doing it before I was, but like you couldn't fucking get a narrowed Sportster tank 12 years ago.
No,
or 14 years ago or 15 years ago. It's like, no, you go find one and you cut it down the center. And I wasn't good at welding then, right? So you're like fucking burning holes in it, like trying to make a narrowed Sportster tank and make some shit funnel up. Like, I mean, I kind of wish I could see. I remember like trying to do one back then, and like luckily I fucking had a roommate that was a really good welder, and I'm like, yo, like I need you to help me with this.
Yeah, there was, enough for nothing. As aggravating as some of that stuff could have been, it was fun too, and I wish people wanted more of that stuff. But like you said, it's just like you go to fucking Throttle Addiction or one of those places and find any size Sportster tank you want now. You know what I mean? As a good starting point. I think they even sell the shells on there if you wanted to do your own shit too.
Yeah.
And
and like even for myself, like on my for my personal bikes, like I always try to, do some sort of a different tank, or like you said, at least fucking move the filler all the way up, but like I fucking start with an existing one now.
Yeah,
like there's I'm not a fucking sheet metal magician either. That's not really my strong suit, but I mean I fucking buy one and just cut it up, and you're still money ahead and time ahead.
Absolutely. And it's like, and we're going to curse this right here. Someone's going to do it now, but I don't know why no one's made a fucking custom Sportster tank with the fucking, or any of them with the filler neck, like up at the top. Like,
I kind of was wondering that too. Like even the ones that are like nice and like have a low tunnel and have the petcock move, the cap is still fucking in the middle.
Yeah, or like down to the left or whatever, and it's like, why does no one put one right on the crown? Like where we move them every single time.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. They're probably listening right now, dude. They're going to be like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Just cut me and Reese in on that, if you do.
Yeah, that's make sure you come back and advertise on this podcast.
Some shit.
Did you do the advertisements yet, or do you go back and do those?
Well, I did it. When I'm doing like these single episodes, I'll just do them quick at the beginning. Right. If when we do our roundtables and we get hammered, it's way better to wait and we do the advertisements once we're like real hammered and sitting around.
Oh, I was gonna volunteer for the Manscaped one, dude.
All right, dude. Well, go ahead. Let it fly.
You ready for it? We're gonna do it.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. This is Manscaped one. Are you sick and tired of your little chopper acorn getting stuck in your wet ball fro? That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, then you need the Lawnmower 3.0, manscaped.com.
Yeah, there you go. Manscaped.com.
It's funny how, like, I don't know, like, why, but, like, they picked up, and it's like that's the funniest thing to everybody that they're a sponsor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, dude, like, am I following up a Manscaped ad? And I'm like, yes, you are. Everyone's excited about that. And,
if Manscaped's listening, I got a face for radio. So,
yeah.
I'm here for it.
We all do. That's why there's no video component to this one. Like, no one will see us.
My girlfriend earlier is like, "What are you gonna wear for your podcast?" I was like, "What? It's not a Zoom meeting."
Yeah, a fucking Tarzan loincloth, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my suit and tie on top and my pajama bottom. That's what people do now.
Yeah.
I'm a 21st century man.
But yeah, fuck yeah, man. They I don't and all those ads, like, it's funny because like it's everything's unscripted. They let me just say whatever. I'm like, what do you? They're like,
it's unscripted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like, what I'm like, what do you like? What's the parameters here?
Well, I think
This is
I
the only
lost
reason why
you.
I let them become. That's the only reason why I took them on sponsors. Like, what am I allowed to do and not? They're like, do whatever the hell you want. They're like, we're not an uptight company. I was like, all right, fuck yeah. So,
Right.
and all those are just freestyled right at the beginning. I don't write nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they're perfect. I always get a kick out of them.
Yeah, it's stupid. But, you know.
But before I lose my train of thought, though, you know, we were talking about, but I remember, you know, like I was just like a punk rock kid, right? And I'm like, yeah, I want to get a fucking Harley, right? So
Yeah.
I just get like a wrecked Sportster that I could afford. But I remember probably like 6 months after that, seeing one of the Choppahead DVDs at a friend's house, and it had that Triumph with the red frame.
Oh, yeah. The one we brought to Japan.
Yeah, I went to Japan, you know, and there was like funk music playing in the background or like some hardcore, and I was like, fuck yeah, you know, like like this exists out there.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I remember being like stoked though that there was, you know, some like other punk kids, because I didn't fucking know. I didn't have a cell phone then.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? It's crazy how different times are now than, you know, when we were first getting involved in all this shit, right?
Right.
Like fucking.
Yeah, it used to be a whole fucking like to like sell parts on Jockey Journal. It's like, all right, got to get out my digital camera,
Yeah.
lay all the parts out, take photos of them that for some reason have a timestamp in the corner that I can't get rid of,
Yeah.
and then fucking take the memory card out and put it in my $100 laptop and like try to upload them on there, and then like wait for PM.
Yeah.
Which could take like it could be like a fucking week of negotiations before you ever actually sell it. It's like arrange the shipping.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I fucking, you know, make something or buy something to sell, and it's like, oh, it's on there, and somebody fucking responds 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's kind of silly now because like if they don't, like if it's been like a day or something, you're like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, like if it's been a day, you're like, I'm fucking shadow banned, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Who shadow banned me?
What are they doing? Like, you know, I marked it sold.
Yeah. I know it's so crazy now, man. Like I've been looking for like and I know everybody in the world's looking for one, a good fucking ratchet 4-speed. You know what I mean? And every time one comes up, like someone will shoot me a message. Like I got friends, like my boy George Quirk has been helping me. Like every time he sends me one, like I go and look and it's already fucking sold. Like things are literally selling in minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's fucking bananas, dude.
Right. And then, you know, Josh Knowles sells a lot of parts, and he starts at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like I'm not getting up that early to look like, but I get why he's like, you know, he's doing it so that hopefully it all sells East Coast and the shipping's cheaper, which is really smart.
Yeah.
And like I understand the tactic, but I'm like, man, good for him. Like I work for myself. I'm not getting up at fucking 4:30. Like no way.
Yeah. You know, but the real if you're real gangster with that shit, like you can set all that shit to like post on a timer. I don't know how to do that, but like you can like schedule your posts, so you can be like you can do it at 10 at night the night before and be like, yeah, post this at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I have absolutely no idea how to fucking do that.
Me either. Like,
this is all news to me.
Yeah, I know you can do it. I just don't know how to do it. That's that's like how it is for me with a lot of like the you know the social media and net stuff. Like,
right.
I know enough to get by.
If Josh is listening, his secret's out, and we need a tutorial.
Yeah. All right, so
we know you're not awake.
Yeah. So far we got that going. We need to get cut in on whoever's going to start stamping the tanks with the fucking cap on the crown. All right.
That's right, dude.
There's already two takeaways from this. Two takeaways, right?
A couple punk rock venture capitalists here,
right.
You know, patching it out in the world.
Well, you know, the thing is, and what you were saying with that, it makes sense too. Like you know, and everyone is like, there's like a network of us. Like the dude that makes my hats are like the guys from Death Wish and Liberated Images. Like it's like, you know, dudes from like Boston hardcore bands like Hope Conspiracy and stuff like that. He's the one who prints my hats. Like my best, like one of my really good friends since high school is the dude who screen prints our shirts. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like, you know, like the DIY stuff, you like learned skills like when you were like a
yeah.
shitty little punk kid trying to put out a zine or put out a record or like do any of that stuff. Like you learned some business skills, you know what I mean? Or put on a show, be a promoter. Like that's why I could like we could jump in and me and Packer could do Full Speed Ahead or or different things like like I used to put on shows when I was a kid, or I used to try and do like zines or something. I put out records, like you know what I mean? Like you learned all that shit. Like
I use Edgemen screen printing in Detroit, even though I don't trust straight edge people at all. They're very good at what they do, and they're just a couple hours away, but they're all like punk and hardcore kids doing their thing, and it's fucking fantastic quality, dude. I have all my hats embroidered there. And,
I know you get that fancy hat that's all embroidered and stuff. Looks dope.
Yeah, man. They're fucking expensive. That's like, I know people go on there and they're like, $33 for a hat. And it's like, well, to get American-made hats is very expensive, and you have to wait 4 months. Sometimes.
Oh, it's crazy right now. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of have been like making a point to print on all American-made stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's a fucking pain in the ass, and it takes forever. And it's like they don't make it easy. It's like, motherfuckers, this is why everybody's printing on Gildan. Like,
yeah, exactly, dude. I use for chop edge shirts, we use all Bayside, like American made, like heavyweight shirts. And it's like people don't realize that, and I don't charge anymore. Like our shirts are $20, but those things cost me, I know, double or triple what motherfuckers are playing for Gildan. Oh, you know what I mean? And I'll take the hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, my only brother, manufactures clothing, and it's all American made, and I make a point to try, but it's fucking not easy, and I know it's not.
No, and that's why my hats aren't, you know what I mean? Because I can't find a good, affordable, trucker type, American made hat. Like when I had find them before, I don't care that they cost more, but you can just, like you said, you can never fucking get them.
No, I think that I just got another order of hats in, and I only print like 30 or 40 at a time, right? Yeah, I don't ever do like 100 or 200 of anything, right? I just try to print them and like hope that they sell out in 3 days, because I just want it, like whatever I make, I just want to like do it in a couple days and then like a few months later I'll print more.
Yeah.
Because I don't like fucking shipping shit every night, or like you get all your shit out to pack one order. I would rather just have a smaller quantity and like have it done. And at the end of the day, like I don't want to be a really like a clothing store. I mean, I know I've made a lot of shit, but I want to like stay focused on making shit out here, and like it's really great because I get it, right? There's like people that might like what you do. They don't have fucking $2,000 for a frame or whatever, but everybody's got fucking $20.
Yeah.
Right. I understand that, so it is good to have shit around. But I never, like, I'm the worst at gauging quantities of anything.
I know, me too. That's what, I'm always like, how do motherfuckers run restaurants? Like, how do you know what to fucking order and how much? I could never own a restaurant. I can't think of that.
I can't own anything, but I get it. But I was kind of like all gun ho having these fork caps made, and like they sold out right away. Right, I made more, and then I fucking sell 2 sets, and they sit there for months.
Yeah,
and they eventually sell, but I'm like, yeah, this is not it.
you know what happens? Like for years we made Triumph Ford controls, and I still do. But then, like the place that was our laser cutter that had all the files, they went out of business and this and that, like to cut out some of the plates and shit. Like we can always make new ones or whatever, but like shit won't like I'll go a year without selling a set, and then I get orders for like 7 of them in like within a month, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And
that's always the way it goes.
Yeah, and it's like you're like, all right, I'm just about to discontinue this. I never have to make these again. I'm going to pull them off the site, and then you sell a bunch, and now I'm out of shit, and now I got 2 or 3 other people that want some, so it's like, fuck, now I got to go make up a big batch of fucking plates and this and that, get all this shit like laser cut, and then it's like, how long am I going to sit on these plates for? You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
It's like you said, it's what sucks. Like, you know what I mean? That is one of the harder parts. Like, it's easier with like raw materials. Like, yeah, if I just need like tubing or fucking whatever, that's, you know, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? That's easier to do.
Right. Well, I mean, and the big difference too and stuff like that is it's like, it's one thing to have like an overstock of hats that were, you know, $15 or $20 a piece, but when the parts cost you over $100,
yeah,
and you have like, you know what I mean? It's like thousands sitting there forever. It's fucking a little bit different.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know, and metal ain't going down, man. Like, you know, like the fucking shit's through the fucking roof. Just like, you know, like every raw material right now, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, yeah, it's insane. And I'm kind of like, I had bought a lot of 1-inch DOM in stainless and mild, and I bought like a whole fucking truckload last fall.
Yeah.
And I'm just now running out, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like I finally have to like pony up an order, and I know all the prices have gone up since then by a lot, you know. And I never charged any more so far for those than I ever did, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to start.
I know it fucking sucks, dude. Like
it does, because I don't, you know, it's kind of not that I'm like really competitive on those anyway, because I get guys that ask me about bars because I don't like have them on the site, right? I just make them to order. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's 165 for mild steel, 175 for stainless. And they're like, well, I can get them fucking on here for 100. I'm like, dude, go get them, man.
Go do it, dude. Yeah.
Go buy it. They're probably ready to go, but like they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, but that's like, I'm not priced. Like I have people waiting on stuff, so I'm not gonna like pander my prices to anyone.
And not only that, like if you really look at the hours into it plus the material, you know, like. It's not like super. You're not like laughing your way to the bank. Like, look
at that, dude. Yeah, I mean,
$175 for a pair of bars. There's a few hours into that, and you know, materials. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's like, you know, you're working for like $30 an hour. You know what I mean? If that, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is on a good day, no matter what I say my labor rates are, on a fucking good day in the shop, I make $25 or $30 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, wow, I have $50,000 worth of equipment in here to make what I was making at my old job. You know?
Yeah. But
where I had nothing invested. So I mean, the only upside for what I got going is I've been buying equipment for 10 years.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, as like a hobbyist, and I kept upgrading, and now I got fucking 4 welders in here, like a really nice lathe and a mill and a rotisserie. But it's, you know, you can't, it's hard to explain, and I don't even ever try, but like you can't explain that to somebody that's not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't get it, otherwise they wouldn't be fucking buying them from you, right? If they like it, so.
Yeah, but you know, I guess what it comes down to, like we hit on a couple things. Like if you are paying somebody to build you something or make you something from scratch, like, you know, there's a price with that. Like it's like handcrafted shit. That's different. Like, and the $100 bars might be cool. Like, and I'm not slamming the $100 fucking, you know, manufactured like mass quantity. And to me, even 50 is mass quantity. You know what I mean? Or shit like that.
Right. No,
versus like a one-off one that like you know, like a dude hand makes. Like that's, and you're gonna pay, and you should be paying more for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love where I live, but it really fucking sucks, dude. I don't have a fucking good chromer that's remotely like, there's a chromer like 40 minutes away, and his prices are astronomical, and it's not good chrome.
Dude, when fucking Browns went away, dude, like fucking, that was like the worst. Like,
oh yeah,
dude. Like,
I mean, oh, sorry, my air compressor just kicked on. I didn't think about that.
Oh, no problem. You look at you flaunting that you have air conditioning. Like you haven't even been business a year. Like, oh, sorry, dude, my air conditioner kicked on. I know you're sweating your ass off in your shop.
Well, that too. I said my air compressor. My air compressor's going, but yeah, I do now have air conditioning in the shop this year, and it's fucking pretty awesome.
I actually
It's
just
only because the space that I have partitioned, like with all my equipment in it, is like pretty small. You know, it's like 30 by 25.
Yeah, like ours, like my back shop is just a big one open big thing. I'm like pricing out those like there's like literally a company just called Big Ass Fans. I'm like trying to price all that shit out and like just get some big industrial fans because it's been brutal here this week. But sorry, man. I thought you said your air conditioner, like not your air compressor. Compressor.
No. That's been going. That's been going the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, luckily we had one of these cool off days today. It's only in like I think it's like 70 or something in the humidity broke because like there was some crazy storm and you know how that shit goes. It builds up and then breaks.
Yeah, I mean in Michigan we get the weather, whatever the lakes. You know, I'm surrounded by lakes, so our weather fucking is always different than everybody's like, oh, the Midwest is getting this, and it's like, well,
not us.
We might, but we also it might fucking snow.
Yeah. But yeah, like what you hit on too, like chroming, you know, is such like a crazy thing now because like I don't think there's going to be a plethora of people looking to break into the chrome business with all the environmental regulations around shit like that. Especially depends on the state, you know what I mean? But that's hard.
Exactly what it is. You can't afford to do it legally.
Yeah.
Just like everybody's like, yeah, there's like fucking 19 chromers in LA and a 4-block radius. It was like, yeah, but they're not. I guarantee none of those places are following EPA regulations.
Yeah. And they just been there so long and they fly under the radar. Or motherfuckers go to Mexico down that way too, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I know a bunch of people there that just drive across the border and get it done, go back and pick it up.
Yep.
So,
but dude,
I don't have that luxury. I mean, luckily a lot of people that get stuff from me are like, you know, they're building nice bikes and they have chromers.
Yeah.
You know, where they're at. So I do a lot of stuff in stainless. I prefer to do everything in mild steel. To be honest, it's just way fucking easier on all my tooling, you know, and mills and
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love welding stainless, but every other aspect of making stuff on stainless
it sucks fucking drilling a hole in stainless. Never mind fucking.
Yeah.
But
I mean, here's a little tech tip for anybody, you know, that's trying to drill holes in stainless is baking soda is a great cutting agent for that.
Nice.
That's sprinkle a little bit of that on there, and it actually does help. And it kind of like saves your tooling a little bit.
Cool. So it works, but you feel like that works better than like any of the you know, like the cutting fluids.
For stainless, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still use all in 3-in-1 or all in one on mild steel or anything. But if I gotta just like drill holes in stainless, or even if I'm cutting it like into the edge with an end mill, you just dust it with a little bit of baking soda, and it seems to cut better and it saves your tooling a little bit. I think it just acts like a lapping compound would, right?
Yeah.
And I've found too that it kind of helps reduce chatter. So.
Cool.
But there was some, you know, machinists at my old work that were in their 60s, you know, and like in the back building, just on Bridgeport all day, and they all have like little things of baking soda back there.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it works, it helps. But.
Yeah, that's one thing I regret, man. I wish if I could go back, and you know, and it's never too late, but like I wish when I was in high school, like. I wish I would have went into like machine shop. I went to the Voc Tech high school, but I wish I would have done like machine shop or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just to get more of a background. Like all my machine knowledge is just built up through like trial and error or like fucking shit up or like a dude comes by and like, oh, you know, here's a little trip to how to do this. Or you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's fair. I'm not like my LLC says welding a machine, but I'm not like a machine. I have like no certifications whatsoever, right? I bought all the shit on my own and tried to learn it, and then like basically through working at that job doing the robots and stuff, I was pretty fortunate to have some pretty talented old dudes there, and like it was funny because when I started, you know, people told me, they're like, oh yeah, like those dudes don't fucking like anybody, you know, they're grumpy, this, that. And like, they were like the coolest dudes there to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I gave a shit about you know what I mean? Like, they were just excited that I care, and I would, you know, try to retain some of the information that they were passing along. And, but yeah, I mean, they're just like, you know, just saying, it's one of those things, right? It's like everything is, depends on the circumstance, I guess. They're probably going to be mean to you, like, you know, you're just like some fucking kid. I'm there, like, trying to gain information and appreciate what they're doing, you know?
Absolutely,
So,
man. I find that the case in a lot of things, man, where people are like, oh, no, those dudes, like, they don't, you know, no, they're just trying to shield themselves from motherfuckers that are useless. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's
absolutely.
all it is.
Yeah.
Or not useless, but like,
Absolutely.
you know, like just from shit they don't need to deal with, you know?
Right. And I mean, I find myself doing that too, right? Even though I was like the young dude asking questions, like now it's like, I mean, I get people asking me questions all the fucking time, and I try not to be the dickhead because I remember what that feels like, you know, and it's like pretty defeating. So I don't want to be that guy, but at the same time, it's like I could spend all fucking day doing that for free. You know, so you kind of almost said it's like, I'll do that if somebody actually gives a fuck.
Yeah.
But for like Joe Blow, it's like, I'm just trying to get back on the road, you know, like, do you have a crystal ball to like diagnose this over the phone? It's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. I'll do this. You know, well, try having like a service and repair shop. Like it's, dude, it's just crazy. I'm like, oh God. Like,
I mean, I still do some of that. Like, I mean, I do bike service for people in town and repairs.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually like the shop that's 10 miles from me, because I'm outside the city, but they're on the north side of the city, so it's like they're relatively close for where I'm at. He was kind of like my mentor. He's 75 now, but he's got an independent bike shop. He's still open 6 days a week.
Right.
And you know, I was really fortunate to like have him around, and he was, you know, they were like real hard asses at first. You know, like I rolled in there, so I like not knowing, and I'm like, hey, do you guys have any shovel heads for sale? You know, and they're like, what year? I'm like, I don't fucking know. You know, I was like, all I knew is I thought I wanted a shovel head, and you know, that's 15 years ago or 16 years ago now, and they're still there. And now he's like a good friend of mine. He sells me all my parts at cost, you know, and he sends me a fuckload of work. Some of it's like awful work that I wish he wouldn't send me.
Yeah, he's laughing. He's laughing as he sends it to you, like.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have had some like nightmare customers that he sent up here, but because, you know, for him it's like, oh yeah, like this person's asking about welding or something, you know, and he sends it up here, and I'm like, dude, this guy wants me to glue 2 Road King frames together. Like, I don't want to do that. So,
like, I don't know what he's trying to do, but like, I know I don't want to do it.
Yeah, he needs to vet people a little bit more sometimes before he sends them off. But I've also gotten some really good customers from him that, you know, I mean, that a lot of times they're people that are up by me, you know, because it's 20 minutes outside the city up here. So if there's guys up here, he just sends them to me. And I mean, you know, it's the same thing. There's enough gold in these hills for everybody.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
So,
and that's what, you know, it's like weird when people get weird about shit like that. Like, it's like, dude, no, you know, like, unless someone's actively being like, hey, you know, trying to like take someone like a customer from us, like, and even then it's like, whatever the fuck, you do it, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Whatever, dude.
But
like,
I mean, I know, you know, and have seen people do that.
Yeah.
And I've fucking seen it. Like, people feel like threatened or something if you're doing something even in the same fucking wheelhouse as if they invented it.
Yeah. It's like,
you know, and it's
shit was
like,
here before us, it'll be here after us. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So, you know, so it's cool, man. But like, so it sounds like every day could be different for you. Like whether you're doing like service stuff, you do like, you know, you're making some parts. You're, you know, you're working on robots. Like you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it really. I'm very fortunate for it because for me personally, like, I mean, there is something to be said for doing the same thing, right? Or like, if you do the same thing day in day out, you're gonna be fucking really good at it. So, I mean, that in one respect, sometimes I wish I was just doing the one thing, but as far as like for my personality or whatever you want to call it, it's good for me to be doing. Like I like being challenged, and I mean, not to get super sentimental, but that was like one of the things that I loved about motorcycles, even from like the first time you do it, is like the satisfaction of seeing what you did when you were done, and like feeling the accomplishment of doing it. Like I need that in my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and I mean, it could be any, right? I mean, I know like everybody has their thing, right? Skateboarders, you get that from like doing a trick you fucking wanted to do forever, or musicians, or but for me, like I got that from doing this, and like that's what I needed in my life to like, I don't know, have fucking self-worth or whatever, however you want to swing it, right? And I still get that, especially if I'm like doing stuff that I might not be as good at. Like I really like seeing myself progress and try to challenge myself, and I feel really fortunate to be able to do this. And as cheesy as it sounds, and like you can pick apart everything, right? Like the internet fucking ruined it or whatever. I mean, the reality is I'm fucking able to do this because of that. 100%. Like if I just had like a sign out by the driveway, I don't think I'd be able to work out here full time.
Yeah.
So not where I live anyway.
No, I mean, yeah, like, we're in different parts of the country, but we're both in the same situation where we're not in a place where there's like a 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 month riding season, like,
right.
And so it's a little different, and it's like, and how was it, your first winter, like going through that, like, you started in October, like right before things slowed down, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, in my like kind of, I don't even know if it was my plan, but in my head, I kept being like, I'm going to quit in the spring. Like I'm going to give it a go in spring.
Yeah.
And, with all the COVID shit going on, like there was fucking nobody at my work, because they basically were like, if you don't feel comfortable coming to work, or whatever, so I was there, like, really short staffed doing all this shit. And I don't even know if I fucking missed any days, like through all that shit. And they came out, and my boss, who's really cool, was basically like, hey, like, I hate to do this, but they're on me, and like, you're getting in trouble again for not wearing a mask. And I was like, dude, you just hang on to that piece of paper, because I don't need it. I'm putting my fucking 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to fucking come down on me. And like, it's not like I was in like a fucking restaurant right next to people, right? I had like a fucking 40,000 square foot fucking building.
Yeah.
And I'm like one guy in the back.
Yeah.
Right. And like, so-and-so Joe Blow like saw me without a mask on, like went and snitched. And I'm just like, I don't have time for this shit. Like this is my exit ring, I'm just doing it, and I went for it. And throughout the winter, I did have some downtime. Like February was pretty slow. I mean, as far as work in the shop, like I wasn't really getting any orders, and I kind of had already planned out doing these frames, but I didn't have any material or anything to start on them. I was just waiting on people, but a friend of mine, that actually the guy that I used to do frames with, he owns a steel supply center doing fab work. So I had like a lot of, I was basically contracted out to a bunch of different companies, when they needed me. And, I mean, I was fucking stick welding outside in the snow, but I was staying busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there was not, I mean, very few days where I didn't have something to do. And the couple that I did have, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go out to the shop and make something and fucking list it. And it sold every time, I'd come out and make some shifters or some bars and just sell them even if I didn't have orders.
Yeah, no, and that's the beauty of it. And you there's always something you can do, and
yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I mean, people want instant gratification. And I think sometimes even if people want something from me, I'm like, yeah, like there's a wait right now. So if I make it and it's like ready to go right then, there's people that are like, oh fuck, I'm gonna jump on it. So
Yeah. It's crazy how that stuff, because even if you try and put a warning, like on the website, like I'm like, if you order an oil tank and you order it in black powder coat or polish, you got to allow a couple extra weeks because, like
Right.
I farm that out. I don't have a powder
Right.
coat
Yeah.
oven here, like, and we send all our stuff to our boy Shiny that does all our polishing, and like fucking, someone will order something on Monday and like Wednesday, like, hey, I haven't seen tracking numbers yet, and I'm like, yeah, dude, because it's not. It's like
because I don't even have it in my possession.
Yeah, you got a couple weeks to go, buddy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just
I
finished.
kind of ran.
Yeah.
I did a lot of 4-speed transmissions this winter, just a rebuild service. I'd either tear them down, paper blast them, reassemble them with new guts or whatever they needed. And, people want to know before they send it. They're like, well, how long? And at first I was like a month, like thinking that's fucking more than enough time. Well, then half the hard parts I needed, like if they were from Eastern or Gyms or whatever, they're on back order.
Yeah. Well, that's what's crazy. Even now, dude, it's hard to get shit.
Yeah, and I just like couldn't get anything, and then so people kept asking me about transmissions, and I was like, yeah, probably like 3 months, depending. And they're like, 3 months, like spring's right around the corner, or what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to tell you a month, even though I can do everything on my end.
Yeah.
In that amount of time, I'm at the mercy of the parts distributor. And for that stuff, there isn't like 100 different options, right? Like, I won't put V-twin shit in them because I don't want to put my name on that shit.
No.
So I try to get, like, and even Eastern, it's like kind of a 50-50 chance if it's going to be American made or not. I mean, half, it feels like, or maybe it's 70%. Some of the stuff is American made. Sometimes you get the package and it's made somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I've had pretty good luck with their stuff. And, Gyms is all American made, but I kind of had a bunch of issues with their stuff this year too, of being like oversized or undersized. So it's kind of luck of the draw, right? And it's like, I mean, I can't case harden things in my shop. It's like there's any making it, right?
Yeah.
So like, even if I can back cut gears and stuff, which I did look into a bunch of, like, I bought out a bunch of equipment from this guy here, and he had a bunch of stuff to cut gears, in a Bridgeport. I was like, oh fuck, like you're not going to do everything, but there is certain stuff I could use for it. And I'm like, well, even if I do it, I got to send them out.
Yeah, it's true.
So I kind of was like, yeah, maybe I should invest in something a little bit more practical if I'm going to be buying more equipment.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? Is like, there's like a lot of things that would be rad to have, but is it really, you got to do the almost like, not to be a business guy, but like a cost benefit analysis of it. Like how much am I really going to use this? Is it worth the money to buy it? But two, my time to learn this shit if I'm never really going to be able to fully use it,
Right. Well, I've always wanted to like get some more sheet metal shaping stuff.
Yeah.
And do that. Like, I just want to do it, but I know that I'm not going to be able to make fucking money at it. Like, there's guys that are fucking 2 decades ahead of me doing it that might make money at it, but I'm not going to be able to make money at it for the foreseeable future, even if I picked it up and got pretty good at it.
I think, like, that stuff, like, it seems like there's 2 tiers to it, right? Like, you're doing it for yourself or your friends, or you're doing it for like $100,000 fucking car restorations. Like, there's not like a lot. There's not a huge middle ground there, because it's not like there's not like, a lot of people don't want to pay for that type of stuff, and it's like
absolutely. So, I mean, I still would like to do it, like just get better at just doing it on a bag with hammers.
Yeah.
Or like repairing sheet metal. And my friend Ben down in Indiana, he's a fabricator as well. We were talking about going and taking one of those, classes, because there's a few different people that do like a weekend, sheet metal class or whatever. I mean, I still would love to go do that.
Yeah, me and my buddy Keith years ago, probably 15 years ago now, we did one with this guy Cal Davis down in North Carolina, and it was cool. It was real cool, but it's just like,
right.
It's like, it's fun and it's good to know, but it's like, it's like how much. It's good to have that knowledge, but it's like it's hard. Like I wouldn't want to just be that guy like that just tries to survive off that. You know what I mean?
Right. and going back to what I said, I don't have like
Yeah.
any natural talent at all. Like I have to fucking work really goddamn hard to be.
Oh, I'm the
be
same
good
way,
at that.
man. It's like I'm the same way, dude. Like there's
Yeah.
some people that are just gifted with shit and like, or it comes real easy, and it's like, nope, not me.
Yeah. I think the smartest thing is to stay in my lane and keep trying to get better at what I'm already doing. That I'm not,
But
I
you're
would
still
prefer to
still doing a lot of different shit, which is cool. Like and
Yeah. At the end of the day, yes, I am doing a bunch of different stuff, and I feel very fortunate to be doing it. And I keep thinking in the back of my head, like I've made now over 100 sets of T-bars. I'm like, is there anybody else left that's gonna need T-bars from me? like, am I? You know what I mean?
Well, people sell a bike and then they get a new one and they're like, oh shit, I wish I kept those bars, and hopefully
Right.
that type of shit repeat people. I mean, yeah, 'cause,
Right.
I mean, West Coast T-bars is still in business. They've been doing it for fucking well over a decade.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But like, there's a lot of other people that make bars. I'm just thinking like
Yeah.
in my wheelhouse of like people that are going to buy them from me. I'm like, I got to be getting down there, like to like the bottom. Like, how many more people are going to want them?
Yeah, well, then you just got to be on the next shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right.
whatever
Right.
the next cool bar is. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I put D-bars on everything. I really do. I like when I'm doing a bike or something in my head, I'm like, look, oh, maybe I'll do something different. And then at the end, I'm like, it'll just look way better if I just put T-bars on it.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
I mean, for the style bike that I'm doing,
Yeah. They're just comfortable too. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
It works. It
I
works.
mean, and you know me, like all the shit that I like is like kind of more East Coast performance-y bikes. They always look good with T-bars on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. But, like you do a lot of things, right? And it's cool. Like, and it's like, you have to keep a hustle up. Like, but like, what's your, if you had to pick one thing, like if you said, all right, I got to specialize in one thing, like what would that be? Like, what do you like doing the best, or what makes the most sense for you that, if you were going to specialize in just doing one thing?
If it paid better, I would probably say frames.
Yeah.
But it's literally the hardest fucking dollar in motorcycles. And I'm saying that as someone that's like done different stuff in it,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done everything, right? I don't lace wheels, but it's a fucking very hard dollar. And you have to have a lot of fucking equipment, and they take a long time, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And patience.
and I know that there's a lot of other people doing them, and I know that people are probably faster than I am at doing certain things for sure. Like I'm not, I see some of these guys like welding, right? And they're feeding fucking 2 rods. They got 2 fucking welding rods in their hand. They finish one and immediately just feed the other one in. That ain't me.
Oh no, fuck that.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not me at all. So I think that I think that I would say frames maybe, but the reality is I don't really want to do them forever just because there's not enough money.
But that's like what you enjoy most.
Yeah, I like doing. Right now, I'm kind of like bitter because I've been doing them for a month and a half straight.
Yeah.
But I would like to do like one a month.
Yeah.
Is ultimately, and I mean, I'm sure that anybody that does this that's listening will be like, oh yeah, that's like a fucking pipe dream, right? But the ideal customer would be like, yeah, like fucking just spend like 2 weeks on this frame and make it like this dimension, but go crazy, right? That would be fucking awesome. And I could just but there's nobody that's willing to do that, right?
Yeah,
There's not any customers that I have.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I mean, ultimately I really would like to just have enough of the robot and automation contracts that I could just do my own bikes.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, that's probably a little ways off because I kind of just go when they call. Like next week, I have 2 days working in this facility in Grand Rapids that I used to work at, and they hire me as a contractor, so I'm going to go in and do some automation, but I'm pretty good at it, and it's like a pretty niche thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like call an electrician or like it's its own proprietary system for most of them. So that's, I think if I'm being realistic with that answer, that's what I would like to do is have enough of that I can just kind of pick and choose more what I take here and do, you know, more stuff for myself. Cause like I haven't fucking built myself a bike in 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have one sitting here like in pieces and I kind of pick at it, right? Like I got a lot of cool parts stashed away and the motor's done and the wheels are done, the front end's done, but I'm trying to like kind of psych myself up to be like, okay, this winter, like every Sunday I'm going to work on it or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good,
because I really would,
good February project.
Yeah, right. Or have some money put away so that when slow February rolls around, I can just do that instead of like going and doing contract work. So, but I'm kind of like, when I first quit, I was like, you know, stressed out and nervous for like the first couple months, right? I was like, I don't know where my next fucking dollar is going to come from.
Yep.
Like, am I going to be able to keep paying my mortgage forever? Or like, am I going to have to get a job again? But now that I'm, you know, 8 months in, I'm like, the fucking work keeps coming and there's really no point in worrying about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not in my control. And, you know, my dad owns his own business. My brother owns his own business. Like, I mean, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My dad has offered very little advice in this venture, but he was like, that is one thing he said. He's like, don't do what I did and fucking lay there in bed at night worrying about what's next because it always comes.
Yep.
So, and he was absolutely right so far. I mean, I did worry at first, and I actually have made more money than I would have at my job. I mean, even after taxes and everything. So, like, I'm ahead, and a lot of that's because I keep getting hired back by these companies to do the contract work. But you know, I mean, the motorcycle shit does not pay all of my bills.
No.
It probably could, like, because like right now, I kind of told everybody like I'm not taking on any more work. But that's also because I keep getting contract work.
Yeah. So
the work that I have piled up here is like getting done slower than it would have if I wasn't going and doing that. So.
But yeah, man. But yeah, it's all just like a fucking like a juggle, dude. Like juggling fucking shit. Like, but that's what keeps everything moving, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, I mean, I know we kind of touched on it earlier, like talking about like, you know, punk dudes that are kind of doing their own thing. And it's, my theory behind that is that like when you like live poor for so long,
yeah.
And then even though like, I mean, I had a pretty good job for a long time, right? I kind of like, you know, I bought a house, sold it, bought another house, right? But like, I still like, I'm not out fucking throwing money around. Like, I don't buy very much that doesn't pertain to my business or like my few hobbies, right? And I think that when you like have that mentality of like, well, fuck, dude, like you got nothing to lose. And especially like if you came from that idea, like you don't want to fucking go make somebody else rich. Like you want to do it yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do it for yourself. So
exactly, man. You're a cog in a company machine. You're just making higher ups fucking richer, you know?
Right.
Like,
and you're making people money that literally have, you know, in my case, no idea what you're even doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like 8 people above me, and I don't think that most of them even knew what I was doing at all.
Yeah.
Like they knew if it got done or if it didn't.
That's it. That's all
You
they
know,
needed
like
to know. That's all they wanted to know. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, yep. There was, I mean, the welding world is very much that way. More so than any other. You know, like I mean, I worked in excavating, truck driving, you know, a couple other things, but more so than any of that stuff, like this is a stacked business of like there's fucking more chiefs than Indians.
Ugh.
And it's a very bizarre world. Like, you know, you have fucking a bunch of welding engineers, and like some of them, you know, not all of them, but some of them fucking can't weld at all.
That's weird.
It's a very strange, right? And that was fucking hard to get used to. You know, there's like always people in suits walking around, like seeing the shit you're doing. But at the end of the day, I quit, and all these people still need me. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's validation. You know what I mean? That you did something right, and now they're paying.
Yeah.
Now they're paying the contractor rate for you. You know, that's
Yep.
sweet. You know, it's like
And I mean, I think in a way too, sometimes that almost works out better for certain companies because you get me when you need me, and when you don't need me, I'm not just there, right?
Yeah, and they're not paying benefits or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, I come in and do the job that you need done, and then I fucking go home, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
His cores are going down easy, bud.
fuck yeah, dude. It's and what I meant to ask you too. We talked a little bit earlier about this, but with you know things are reopening and events are starting to go back on and you know shit's popping again and there's all kinds of shit coming up. But you do one of the cooler events that I think. And me and Trent were talking about this too, like the Apocalypse Run. Why don't you tell people that might not be familiar with it a little bit more about the Apocalypse Run and its history and what it's kind of about? And it's cool, like even what you do with the proceeds from it, you know, that's fucking rad, you know?
Yeah. So last year was the 13th year I've been doing it, and it's basically been. I mean, it's changed a little bit over the years, but we always leave from downstate. And we ride up into northern Michigan, cross the Mackinac Bridge into the Upper Peninsula. And the spot where I do it now is pretty perfect for it. There's a lady up there that rents me basically all the motel rooms. She's got some rental houses. And then she gives me like a big-ass field that she mows and puts firewood down there. And we kind of do our thing. But the ride itself up there, with the riding and then back like 700 miles.
Yeah.
And for like the first 5 or 6 years, I think like the most people we had was like 30. Because I mean, the reality is, and I'm sure you know this, like half the motorcycle shows that I went to, like fucking people don't ride. Like they don't ride the bikes that are there. You know, so you got it kind of just narrowed it down to people that wanted to fucking go on an actual run. Not a bike show, not fucking sit around and jerk each other off.
Yep.
So I keep every year. I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. This is the last year, but I keep doing it. And last year was the biggest one, and it was 132 bikes total that somebody that wasn't me counted. And so that was like the first year that I ever had money to donate. To be honest, like every other year, I was lucky if I broke even on everything, or, you know, maybe there was like a little bit of overage. And usually I give it to like the bar owner up there that lets us do it. I got to pay the chase truck driver. I borrow a fucking trailer. Like I never got a fucking dime off of it. I still don't. But last year there was enough due to like I think the attendance was so high because everything else was canceled.
Yeah. So it was like,
by default, people that maybe wanted to go were like, well, I'm going because there's fucking nothing else to do. And I mean, I had like a lot of people hit me up. They're like, I can't believe you're still doing the run. That's fucking selfish, blah, blah, blah.
So
like,
stupid,
you're gonna and I'm like, don't fucking go. Like, first of all, nobody fucking asked you. Like, you just don't have to go.
Yeah.
Everybody that went was a fucking grown adult, and not one person got COVID.
Yeah.
And like, that's a fucking fact. Because I wanted to. I was like, you know, I said that last year. I was like, listen, if anybody does get sick, like, I want to fucking know. Just not because I'm gonna like fucking contact trace anybody, but just because I was curious. Not one fucking person.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
it's pretty hard to catch COVID
good.
when you're out riding a motorcycle. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And fortunately too, last year, like where we did it had, you know, she was supposed to be like on restricted capacity inside of the bar. And I think we kind of mostly maintained that just because, like, I didn't want to fucking get her in trouble. You know, I mean, we live in a world of people that
absolutely
everybody. So
yeah. Especially like someone who's hooking you up when everything else is closed. Like, you don't want to burn that bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just made a point to like do the raffle stuff and like do any of the big gatherings outside. And it was good, man. I mean, a bunch of fucking great companies sent me a lot of stuff, and it's pretty humbling because like it's not like sponsoring an event where there's 20,000 people there and you're like getting advertising, right?
Yeah.
Like the reality is if you're sending me stuff to sponsor this event, you're just doing it because you're cool and like you're supporting a grassroots event. And now that I do actually like, you know, or last year anyway, made enough money, I donated all of it to Bikers Against Child Abuse or BACA. And I think I can't remember the exact number. It was like $1,300 or $1,400.
No, that's cool.
You know, I mean, it's not like I'm, you know, changing the course of that place or anything, but it felt good to like, you know, got everybody covered, got everybody paid on the run. Everybody had a good time, and I was able to do something positive with the rest of it. So. It's
very commendable. A lot of people would have pocketed the extra, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's all the motorcycle events, in my opinion, that are for profit that have gone on that long fucking suck. And that's, you know, that's just my personal opinion on it. And I kind of have that fear every year of like, you know, I don't want to be the dude that's like still putting albums out, even though no one liked anything but the first one.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to burn out. I don't want to fade away. So that's like every year I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do it again next year. And I kind of think that like the guys that have gone since the beginning when it was a lot more rowdy and like, I mean, dude, there was some years that were just fucked. Like people shooting fucking handguns in town and like getting in fights. And like, I mean, that's fine. But for me, it fucking sucks. And like I have to pay for the damages, and like I kind of get it, right? Like, oh yeah, you want this rowdy event, but for shit to keep going on, that can't happen.
Yeah.
So, and that's, I think it was Apocalypse Run 7 is when I had to move the location of the entire event because we weren't fucking welcome in that town anymore. And like, you know, that fucking sucks for me too because my parents own a piece of property in that town.
Yeah.
You know, so then I got to fucking hear about it from like which they're cool, like they get it, right? Yeah. But you know, I don't want to deal with that. So there's some guys that have been going from the beginning that I think are kind of like think it's getting softer or whatever. But for me, it's just running more smoothly.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason I keep doing it is because every year new people come and they walk up to me and they're like, man, this was fucking awesome. This was refreshing.
Yeah.
Like this was fun. This wasn't like your normal cheese and wine circle jerk fucking chopper show.
Yeah.
And so that's why I do keep doing it is like, you know, I want people to come up and have a good time. And it's great for me because people are coming from fucking Florida. Like dudes I don't ever get to see. And they fucking come, you know, I got guys from Colorado that are coming out. One dude rode from fucking Wyoming. A few years ago. It's like a 23-hour ride.
Yeah.
One way. And then fucking came there for like a day and a half and rode home. You know, and like that's fucking cool to me. And that's what it's about. And usually I mean, when we go up there, it's kind of a little like once you get there, it's kind of like people do like not everybody comes on the ride. A lot of people when they get there are like, fuck it, I'm drinking at the hotel the whole fucking weekend. Right? And they don't like, but they're happy to do it, right? Everybody kind of does their own thing and finds their own place once they're up there. And, you know, I just, I keep doing it. So
Yeah. Well,
But,
it's
yeah,
funny too when you say things like, it used to be a lot more rowdy. Like, you're also 15 years older. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I only say that because of myself. Like, we used to be those dudes. Like at the smokehouse, we were fucking knuckleheads, like going fucking bananas the whole time. Yeah,
right.
like, it actually got
Well-
to the point where people didn't want us at shows because we were fucking the rowdy dudes. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
now I'm fucking 49, dude. Like, it's I
Right.
still like to have fun and still an idiot, still a jackass, but like we just, it's like, yeah. I also got fucking.
Well, I'm 34 now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the first year I did the run, I was 20.
Yeah. There's a big
And,
difference
like,
between 20
yeah.
and 34.
And there's fucking dudes that are on the run that are in their 40s and fit. Like, they're not going to fucking listen to me even if I was trying to yell at
Yeah.
them. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, things had to change a little bit for it to fucking keep happening.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's gotta be a balance, man. Everything's gotta be a balance. Gotta be a balance of like fun and rowdiness, but like not so out of control that you're gonna lose, burn relationships with the people that are helping you put the show on by like offering spots or offering their bars or offering their campgrounds and things like that. Like,
And, a couple of years ago, Lowbrow did like a video about the run. And I mean, it's embarrassing as fuck for me to watch that. It really is. Like, I'm a fucking retard, whatever. But, I'm just like talking like we're talking now in it, answering questions. And I never in my wildest fucking dreams thought that like all these locals up there were ever going to see it.
yeah.
But somehow, because of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like, people that own businesses up there that were kind of fucking cunty to me in the past see this, and there's like fucking hundreds of comments on there like, it's not lawless up here, blah blah blah, and I never said that. And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, dude. It like started this whole fucking whirlwind of shit. And like people that were up there were going to like, the business owner where I do it, and they're like, you need to fucking tell him, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck,
Yep.
I just never thought that it would, like, all of those, like, people would see it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with the internet, right? That's the good thing about the internet and the bad thing about the internet.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's not like I was, like, fucking calling out anybody by name, right? I, like, mentioned, like, an event that happened or, like, a run-in with somebody, right? And then they fucking see it, and they're like, that didn't fucking happen, blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and it definitely fucking happened.
Oh yeah, it's fucking. You never know how people are gonna perceive or take something, and then how they're gonna run with something. And it's like, dude, you got really nothing else going on in life where this is your hill to fucking die on. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too, right? Is they don't have anything else going on.
Yeah.
So,
Some people just like drama. Like I hate drama because I've had so much of it in life. Like I got enough stress, I got enough whatever. I'm trying to exist as fucking easily as possible right now. That's
it's a fucking pain in the ass, and I mean, it's like it's the age we live in, right? Where people are behind a screen and think they can fucking say whatever they want.
Yeah,
these people are never going to say that to me.
No, hell no.
Like the shit they're saying, like in like typing out behind a screen, they're not gonna fucking say it to me. It's happened before, like time and time again. People run their fucking mouth, right? I see them in public, I'm like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Not a fucking word, know. And that's not how I operate.
Nope.
Like, that's what I tell everybody. Like I bust my fucking friends' balls. Like I'm a ball buster. I say to people I don't like, fucking nothing.
Exactly.
Not a goddamn thing.
I know. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think that's like that's definitely a Northeast trait. I didn't know how far out into the Midwest it made it, but I'm glad to hear it because that's how we are. Like if I'm busting your balls, that means we're cool. If I'm like just whatever to you, that means like, all right, dude. Like I don't know. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It means either I don't know
I
you.
like you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If I'm saying nothing to you, it's either I don't know you, or if I'm just being like very neutral or cordial, it means I don't know you, or I don't like you.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, busting balls is the best thing ever, dude. It's like, I don't know, just fucking laughing and busting balls is fucking simple shit.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
fucking great.
I don't know if it's just because like everybody I've surrounded myself with was always older than I was, maybe, but
Yeah.
it definitely seems like the younger it gets, like the softer people are when it comes to that. It's like I'm not fucking usually trying to like intentionally hurt anyone's feelings, right? It's why you busting fucking balls.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's funny when like dudes get bummed out about that, like and like you meant it. It's like, come on, man, I'm waiting for you to fire something back. That's all.
Right. At it's the same on the same token though. Everybody knows I fucking bust balls, and then I'm up there trying to raffle stuff off, and every person there is a fucking comedian, right?
Yeah.
And they're fucking heckling you, and you can't get anything done, and it's like, God damn it, you know? It's like, oh, I guess I deserve this because I am that way.
But see, then again, it comes back to there's a balance for everything. There's a time, like there's a place, there's like an amount.
Yeah.
There's an amount that's good. If you do too much, then you're like, it's good. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the dates of the run?
So every year for like originally it was in fucking June when I first started doing it, and then mostly based on the weather up there, like the fucking mosquitoes are just fucked in June.
Yeah.
I think like 7 years ago I moved it, and it's always the first weekend in August. But this year it fell on the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. So it's July 30th, July 31st, and August
1st. Rad. If people want to find out more, what's the best place?
I mean, I don't have like a website or anything for it. I just made a post the other day, kind of like lining it out on my Instagram. It's just at Zylstra Choppers. That's really all I have is that. Like, I don't use any other social media.
Yeah.
Like, I have Instagram, and then I have my Big Cartel link to my Instagram if you want to buy shit. But that's about it.
Nice. Cool. Well, what else, man? What else is going on? We talked about a lot. It's I think we're both drunk on a Friday night on the phone talking like
it's good. It's good. Sunday, the 4th of July, I'm going to take my jet boat out. I'm going to take my jet boat to the river with my girlfriend, my parents, and my brother and sister-in-law, and my niece are going to be on the pontoon boat. So that's about the only plans I give a fuck about right now. Beyond that, I don't really know. I mean, I got a lot of different work stuff lined up. Contract jobs. I'm going to try to wrap all these frames up in the next couple weeks. Eric, I hope Eric's listening. I'm going to wrap them up in the next couple weeks. Yeah, and then probably once I get caught up with those, you know, I have a few other small jobs. Like I got a bike on the list now. I got a bike coming in tomorrow. Once I get caught up with that, you know, and I kind of feel like I got a grasp on everything, I'll probably just start hitting people up that have contacted me. And I was like, yeah, I'm backed up. Like I got an email list of people to hit up and be like, hey, you still want me to do this? Or did you find somebody else? I'm fucking bad about that, dude. I really am. Like, I need to get a whiteboard out here, a chalkboard or something. I got like fucking post-it notes everywhere and like scribbles on receipts, like call this guy or do this.
I know it's the worst. I'm the same way. And then the notes get all missed. You know, they go missing or whatever, and then you find it 2 weeks after you needed it. Yeah,
I've started using QuickBooks in October, and it's shocking I can even do that. So.
It's fucking hard. That's the thing about owning a business. Like, there's a lot more to a business than just the shit you actually do. It's like running the business you don't factor in the amount of time it actually takes to run a business because, you know, you're so used to just doing the work end of it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I've had this as like a hobby shop for, I don't know, fucking 7 or 8 years. Like, I've been doing stuff for other people on nights and weekends. Or if somebody hit me up, I would do it, right? And I was doing those frames at one point in time on the weekends with my buddy Brad. But it's a whole different beast, trying to operate it full time and having it be your only income. So,
absolutely. But
yeah.
It's rad, man. It's fulfilling in ways that just clocking in somewhere isn't.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's doing something for yourself, is a whole different animal. Like, I mean, there was fucking a lot of days at my job, the alarm goes off and you're like, what's the fucking point? Like, why? I don't want to get up and go in there, like I'm just not fucking feeling it. It's like, I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And that's all of the things in my life that I didn't like or made me unhappy. I've pretty much done away with, right? Didn't like my fucking job, I quit. Didn't like my ex-old lady, got rid of her. So if I'm fucking unhappy now, it's entirely on me. And I don't have anybody else to blame but myself.
Yeah. And there's gonna be days you get up and you don't feel like doing shit because it didn't matter what you're doing. Like you would not feel like doing shit, but at least you're not gonna go and you're not gonna hear humming from some boss or some other bullshit. You're gonna go in and do your own thing, and so it's really
absolutely. And the way here, like I just don't have those days anymore. Very rarely.
Yeah,
I mean, I get up and I'm like, I like what I'm doing, and my girlfriend that I got now, she tattoos in town, so she starts a lot later than I do, but she doesn't get out till 9. So a lot of days I'm like, well, fuck, I'm going to be out there till 9 or 10 o'clock. Like I don't have to go out there at 6 or 7 a.m. I go out there at 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I'll still be out there 12 hours, but it's that's probably the best part about it is before it's like having a job, dude. It's like you find like a deal or something. It's like, fuck, I missed it. Right now, it's like if I hear about something, I'm like, 2 days ago I drove to fucking Gary, Indiana to buy a Baker 6 into 4.
Yeah.
This is like I just saw, I'm like, fuck it, get in the truck, I'm going, and I'm gonna use it for my new bike. But
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of scabby, but I bought all the replacement. Like I'm still a Baker dealer, so I ordered up all the replacement parts and got a fucking 6 into 4 that I could afford.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's always like a Baker 6 into 4. It's worth taking a ride to grab one of those, especially you get the right deal.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, dude, my fucking like dealer cost on one now is like I think like $3,400.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
And that's if you're not like that's like a base model one. So you can find them and want them out there, right? They're worth finding and repairing. So.
Absolutely, and that's the thing.
Well, they're
like,
pretty.
Being able
they're
to
pretty fucking bulletproof. They're made an hour from here in outside Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, really?
So,
nice.
Yeah. Yep. Had a lot of friends over the years that have worked there and done marketing for them or done. I still have friends that go do like they do the installs at Daytona and stuff. They'll go do that.
That's always crazy to me, man. And I know like shit can be good and stuff, but like when people are like doing installs at a bike show of like whatever it is, like it always seems like fucking crazy.
That is not my ideal work environment. Like, dude, I have people that come stop by the shop and I'm like, well, I'm done for the day, I guess. Like, I can't like be like, I can like work on a bike with people here, but I can't like be like machining stuff and welding and like doing frames with people hovering over me. It just doesn't fucking work.
No. But it's like, imagine like trying to install transmissions like in Daytona in the heat with the fucking thousands of people just fucking smashed hammering around you like fuck.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Fuck, dude, that sounds horrible.
Dropping wrenches, like left and right. And it's not what I would want to sign up for.
No. But hey, man, fucking God bless you if you can do that, or if that's your fucking scene, man. Like, fuck yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
You got concentration of like fucking, like a fucking, I don't know.
It's a bizarre marketing strategy to me, right? Like you show up and you're like, yeah, like you get some dude to bring his bike in there, all like drunk, like, yeah, fucking put a 7-speed in it right now. Like while I'm here, like I guess it works because they do it, and like I guess they always have fucking like a line of bikes waiting for one, but It's very strange to me.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing is like, and this is dumb, but like with just thinking about commerce, like you can accept credit cards on your phone wherever the fuck you are now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so it's not like in our day, like, you'd have to have a pocket full of cash on you to do that. Like you can just whip out your card and fucking people do that.
Charge it to the game.
Yeah, that's right. It's like always weird to me, like when people come up, if we're set up at a show, we like, they're going to buy a T-shirt with their card, and I'm like, dude, you don't like have $20 on you, like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like
that shit drives me insane, dude. Like I know we talked a little bit before, you hit record or whatever, but I said that in my post about the run is like, it's shocking how many people will come 10 states away without even $1 in cash on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what is wrong? Like, I don't even hardly go down the street without cash on me.
Yeah.
Like, I always got to have a little bit of cash on me. And, like, I don't want all the businesses up there to pay 3% on every transaction for 132 people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's something like when you own a business, you start to learn about a lot of shit and like how shit works and like have an appreciation for that and like, you know what I mean? Like more than the person on the street that I don't know if they know that, you get charged.
Yeah, 3%. I do, but I knew this shit long before I owned a business.
Me too, for sure. But I mean,
it may have solidified those thoughts.
Oh yeah,
but, yeah. And you're like, dude, even like, so when I do my 1099 work, like there's an option on there for somebody to pay with a credit card. It's like 3%, but when the bill is fucking $5,000,
yeah, that adds up. Yeah, that adds up.
It's fucking hundreds of dollars, and I'm like, God damn it, dude, just send me a fucking check,
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm also probably one of the few people in the world that still pays all of my bills with a check.
Yeah.
Like they all get sent to my house, and I pay them with a check. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fuck yeah, man, dude, this is fucking rad. We gotta. I'm sure we'll be out and about in the same place. Sometime we'll do another one. We can do face to face and fucking smash some beers together.
Yeah, dude. I know when we talked months ago, I was like, "Fuck, man!" I did a bunch of work on the East Coast too, and I kind of was like, "Oh man, maybe I'll be able to get up there," but it just, you know how it goes. It never works out. Like I was still like, I was in Eastern PA. That's still a long fucking way from you.
Yeah, that's still like, that could be like 6 to 8 hours away. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do have smaller states up here, but some of them, they got a little length or width to them. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and they fucking take longer to get through.
Yeah, there's more stops and so many people. Yeah, it's fucking. Oh, dude, it's weird, man. Like I feel now, post fucking lockdown, that there's more traffic than there was before it. You know what I mean? I'm like, where'd all these motherfuckers come from? Like, it's like
because there's nobody's at work.
That too, man, for sure.
That's part of it. Like I run out for parts on a Wednesday and like have to, quote, go to town, which for me is like 20 minutes, right? I got to go get fucking, argon or filler material. And I'm like, why? Where are all these people? Like, why isn't anybody at work?
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Well, because everyone's running unemployment out, Dude,
yeah. That shit.
It's crazy.
I mean, I get it, but my problem is like the people that are on it are like, oh yeah, like fuck the system, right? Like, and they're like, yeah, I've been on unemployment for fucking a year.
Yeah.
Like you are the system. You're not fucking fighting anybody. You're just sucking off the teat.
And honestly, like, I think it even goes deeper. Like, I don't think people realize, like, you're not fucking the state or the government. You're fucking your neighbor that's a taxpayer. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like the government isn't making that money. They're taking it from people and putting into that. You know what I mean? Like
who always puts the bill for everything? The fucking middle class taxpayer, dude.
Yeah.
You know, super rich dudes aren't paying fucking taxes. Even Jeff Bezos pays any fucking taxes.
Exactly.
You know, your dad is fucking paying for you to be on unemployment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And your uncle and your neighbor and me and you and,
Yeah.
you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it, right? It's like, you know, I'm going to get mine, whatever. But, like, yeah, you're going to stay on it for a fucking year instead of going back to work? That's not realistic.
No, and it's like you might not have a job to go back to, motherfucker, if you don't go back. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah.
like we ain't done with
Yeah,
with the shutdowns. Like 40% of all U.S. small businesses are permanently out of business, but that number ain't dropping. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I know you talked about it before, but just to add my 2 fucking cents about it, I've never not wanted to be associated with like punk rock and punks that I knew than during this shit.
I know, dude, it's crazy.
Like, you know, the same people that I thought I had things in common with, I'm like, fuck, I don't have fucking anything in common with you. You're buying into all this bullshit.
Dude, I've seen some of the most like dudes I know that are like the most hardcore, like crust punk, fucking anti-system, fucking whatever motherfuckers. And they're the ones, wear your mask, you're going to kill people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
yeah.
Since when did you start? When are you cheerleading for big pharmaceutical companies, bro? Like when did you sign on for that?
when did you think that any politician was on your fucking side?
I know, it's fucking crazy, dude.
It's a very, very bizarre time for me.
It is.
I'm gonna get out there, pull punk cards.
Exactly, dude.
Now. I'm taking them.
The punk police. Like you're gonna have we're gonna make like HCPD fucking.
Yeah. Mask up, bro.
Yeah. Coming in, fucking taking your card. But yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. But, you know, and it's funny because, like, you know, and you probably heard this, but, like, you know, I was at that Madball show that was, like literally, like 3 or 4 days before they lifted all the mask mandates, and everyone's like, oh, super spreaders, blah, 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 blah. And then like 3 days later, they're like, yeah, you don't need to wear a mask, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like there was no spike in fucking New York or wherever, you know, like, and it was just like, dude, like, really? Like, you know, you're really gonna fucking come down because like some people had a fucking show at Tompkins Square Park and more people showed up than thought.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right. When you asked me to come on, I was like, man, I'm gonna not. We're gonna not go off about call. I'm just gonna be like, just refer to just listen to the one with Trent for that, and I'm pretty much on board with all of that. We can skip into my opinion on it.
Yeah, Trent was pretty much be like, yeah, just refer to the Trent episode.
Yeah, just if you want all of your COVID information, you just listen to the Atomic Customs episode. My man Trent just out there spitting facts.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. Yeah. But I'm going to be so glad when this is done and we don't have to fucking talk about it anymore, you know?
Oh,
but
fuck.
It sucks. It sucks that you gotta. Like, you know, it sucks that you gotta.
Yeah, it's exhausting, dude. It really is. I mean, I feel you, though. I feel like we're fucking kind of, getting on. Like, I know, though, there's people that are just, they're never going to let it go.
No.
Like, they're going to be fucking wearing masks for the rest of their fucking life, for all I know.
Yeah.
And whatever, but.
You know what the crazy thing is? And this isn't like, I don't have any data or anything. This is just me observations. Like, Massachusetts lifted the restrictions in June, you know? And literally, I don't see anybody fucking wearing a mask anymore, except people that work in a place where they're still required to wear it. And kids,
right? You
know, like high school and middle school kids are still like, they're indoctrinated. And like, it's fucking crazy. Like they are indoctrinated. Like, bananas. Like,
it's fucking insane for sure. And I felt bad. Like, I fucking quit my job and basically only had to wear a mask on like the contract work I did, right? Because I was going into like all these facilities and pretty much, and I did a bunch of stuff at like U.S. government facilities where they're like building weapons and stuff. They're very strict about it.
Yeah.
But when I was in my shop every day, I didn't have to do shit. But my girlfriend had to wear a mask every day through all that tattooing.
Oh, dude! You know, at first they wanted us to wear at the tattoo shop. We had to wear a plastic disposable smock, a fucking mask, goggles, and then a plastic shield over that. I was like, are you fucking,
yeah.
what? What? Like fucking, dude, instantly once you put everything of that on, it all steamed up. Like you couldn't see shit. Like,
Right.
it was like,
Yeah. Breathing in a petri dish all day, dude. Saving lives.
yeah, but don't argue with anything with logic or science because like if you go against dude, I know everyone has different opinions of like Joe Rogan or whatnot and whatever, but he had two people on not too long ago. I put it up on my Instagram. I forget the exact episode number, but these dudes broke it down so hard, you know what I mean? And I feel like everyone should just listen to that, like just go in with an open mind and listen to it. And they were talking about how like cures that were also prophylactics were suppressed because you could get it for $3 a dose, so that they could put forth these like these treatments that were $3,000 a fucking dose,
right.
Like crazy shit. Like like I don't want to get into all that, like you know what I mean, but like
No,
everyone should give it a fucking listen, like because it really, it's like what I've been trying to say, or Trent, or you, like what other people have been trying to say, but like very eloquently. And these are like, top scientists and physicians like that are talking about it. It's like, you don't have to believe, me, you know what I mean? But listen to them.
Well, I prefer information with no emotion behind it and just facts. But
yeah,
the same people that are like, trust the science, it's like, yeah, I could send you it, but it gets taken down and deleted.
Yeah, well, that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
There was tons of science being suppressed. It's like, no, you want to trust the ones that are on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Which is all private party and has interest in this.
Well, the real cliff notes of it is that YouTube and Facebook will only post things now that come from the NIH, the WHO, or the CDC. And now, like in the course of things, the NIH and the CDC and whatnot have been, heavily influenced by the pharmaceutical lobby. And so, like there's that whole spin, you know what I mean? Like chicken and egg shit. And then fucking anybody else who's got research and data to back things up doesn't have a voice because they don't want misinformation getting out there. And it's like, that gets into the whole censorship thing where I get it. Like there's some nutty shit on the internet. Like there's some real dumb shit, but like, do you censor it or do you just say, or just have a really good argument of why that's fucking stupid? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's,
well, I mean, it's a lot of them too. It's like, you can just fucking watch it and know if it's fucking
stupid
bullshit or not.
Yeah. But like you got these people that are vetted fucking scientists that are like top scientists and physicians in their field, and like their stuff's getting taken down because it doesn't go with the mainstream. That's not science. Science is always challenging shit and being like, well, you have this and we're going to try and prove, we're going to try and see if this is real, or if we're going to try and find ways to make this better, or poke holes in this. You know what I mean? That's science.
Right.
Like, it's not just like, okay, everyone go along with what these guys said because they're the fucking, the authority of that,
Yeah. There's hundreds of advertisements too from the last 100 years about asbestos and everything else that they pushed on people that was like a positive thing.
Yeah.
They're like, fluoride for your teeth. Just kidding. We don't know how to get rid of this chemical, so we put it in your water supply.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could go on and on forever, but
yeah. I saw, those commercials for like mesothelioma and all this and that, like, for the law ones. I saw the worst one. I forgot what it was for, but like there was class action lawsuits against someone for genital gangrene. I was like, God damn.
Oh my God.
Dude,
we need to get in on some of these, dude. We're fucking up. We could be cashing in on this.
I'm like, damn, dude, if I literally had genital gangrene, like just shoot me and put me, like, go send me to Dr. Kevorkian, because I do not want to be the dude that lives with genital gangrene, dude. Like, that'd be some traumatic ass shit right there. Like, holy fuck. But I got to look it up and see which one it was for. You know what I mean? I know like the asbestos and mesothelioma thing is connected, but I think the genital gangrene was for something else. Like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck gives you that, but keep me away from it.
Send me that one.
yeah, we'll look it up. But sounds like a name of a crusty band or something too. Like, but But fuck yeah, man, dude. We almost just did 2 hours on the fucking phone.
Yeah, see?
So it's
Not-
Zylstra Choppers on Instagram, right?
Yeah, man, you even said it right. Nailed it.
Yeah, well, you gave me some coaching before.
I did, yeah.
I don't want to say Zylstra like I would have.
Dude, I don't even correct people anymore. It's been my entire life. That's like, yeah, name your business something unpronounceable. Good idea.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, dude, my last name is Gagne, but it looks like Gagny. Like, you know what I mean? It's like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I know. I feel the pain of being in the mispronounced name club. You know what I mean? Like my whole life.
Yeah, but you were smart and were just like, it's just truth.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to know anything. Yeah, I'm just so pissed that I gave my last name out over this already. You know, and I just forgot about. I don't edit much shit out. I might go back and edit that out. But
well, I mean, for a long time I was just Slim Reaper, but then I fucking put on 50 pounds and I had to fucking axe the handle.
Dude, I remember that. That used to be one of my favorite. Like before I even really knew you, like in person. Like I just remember seeing that around. I was like, that's the best name. Like fucking the Slim Reaper. I was like,
dude, this dude started calling me that at truck driver training school. He was this fucking monster of a dude. And he's like, yeah, I've had like 23 kidney stones from drinking Mountain Dew. You know, it's like he started calling me that, and it just fucking kind of stuck.
Yeah,
so,
that was a good IG handle for sure.
Yeah, somebody has it now.
Oh, really? Someone else has it?
Oh yeah. There's it's like I think actually like 2 people with it follow me on there. I've seen it, and I'm like, huh. Interesting.
Hey, yeah, look at that. You're a trendsetter. Yeah. You like when Jesse James with Vanilla Gorilla, there was like 4,000 Vanilla Gorillas, like Vanilla Gorilla dash 13, you know, whatever, you know, fucking. But yeah, hey, you know what? What is it? Copying is the sincerest form of flattery or whatever it is. You know?
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
But
I live by that.
But fuck yeah, dude. Like, so I mean, your fucking fork caps are rad. You got any new parts that you got kind of cooking up?
I got a lot of ideas for stuff. So like I was doing those fork caps, and I was kind of planning on doing them in some other sizes other than 39. Probably for now, just doing 35s, but. Like I said, dude, my fucking machine shop up the street that was doing them for me, you know, off of like my initial design, they're fucking backed up. I can't get anything done.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that as things kind of get back to normal, I can maybe like do that. Cause like, I mean, I'm not going to do them on my fucking, you could never do them repeatably on my lathe.
No, dude. I get it. I'm set up exactly the same way. I got a Bridgeport and an old school lathe, and it's good for like making one-off things or like a prototype of something. But like at a certain point, like it's dumb to do anything other than on like a CNC or like a laser cutter or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to do like any kind of run, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna really fucking hand lathe 50 of those motherfuckers out, dude. Like,
right.
See you next year, dude. You know what I mean? Like
even shit that I could do, like I'm not gonna sit on there all day doing it.
Yeah. Like our points covers, I'm not gonna mill out a spade on a fucking points cover, like, you know what I mean? Like by hand, you know, like no.
So to answer your question, right now, if you go on there, you can get hats, fork caps, and I also have handlebar bungs on there, like for if people want to do their own bars. I mean, they're the same ones I use in all of mine. I just sell them on their own for other builders too.
Yeah.
But I made a jockey shift handle for a ratchet top lid, like a tank shift lid, you know, a 4-position lid.
Yep.
And I'm probably gonna get some of the plates cut, like laser cut, and then bend them because I turn all the arms on my lathe. So I think I'm probably gonna start making some of those too. Like that's kind of like my plan for February or whatever, you know. If I slow back down. Right now I'm busy as fuck with what I got going, but
sure. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, and it seems like this spring and like in summer, like usually by now the shop here, like we don't slow down, but like we're not like backlogged 4 pages of people trying to get their bikes in. We're still backlogged. Like, you know what I mean? Like this year is bananas. Like, I think it's just people had more money and more time or something, you know, like from all the government
I think a lot of it too is like people were serious about having their bikes going because you can fucking go ride outside when shit was closed down.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe they just made it more of a priority now, but I know like you can't go buy a fucking camper.
Oh, fuck that.
Like, they're sold out, right? Anything you could do outside is fucking gone.
I know. I'm waiting. I've been wanting some kind of RV or camper. I'm waiting for like a year or two from now, like when all these are like on like bargain, like, you know, and motherfuckers are unloading them all, you know, when everyone's back to work and shit, like, you know, like fuck.
Yeah, it'll happen, dude. I mean, I predict some serious hyperinflation.
Oh, there's not going to be any
in the near future.
Yeah.
And, you know, dudes like us have been fucking working through it. You'll be able to go buy one. You know, they'll be for sale everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
I know. It just gets crazy. Like, I try not to be doom and gloom, but I'm like in my head, I can play out like the worst possible scenarios of like when you start talking about hyperinflation and shit. And I'm like, damn, dude, it could get fucking, hopefully, you know, we get shit like more under control and it doesn't get super gnarly as it potentially could. You know what I mean? Because
right.
We could be.
I mean, I feel you on not being doom and gloom, but I think it's going to be bad. Yeah. I really do.
I know.
I think the inflation's coming, and it's not the way things are going is not sustainable.
No. I mean,
but I mean, I hope I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, like I hope it's not.
But here's
like
the
lumber
thing.
prices are fucking coming back down now.
Yeah.
So.
But nothing ever comes down as quick as it goes up. And then it never comes down to where it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'll come down, you know, but like when a sheet of plywood is $100, you know what I mean? It's never going to go back down to where it was, but it might be down to like $15 more than it was, not double, you know what I mean? But yeah, who knows, you know? Like
it's like the government, dude. When they take something away, they never give it back all the way.
No.
You just get a portion of what you had, and you're just happy it's not as bad as it was, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think that's the same way this is gonna be. So.
Yeah. I mean, I was bitching about this, like just some aluminum tubing that I use for like the vent and return lines and everything on the oil tanks. Like I used to pay in November. It was $18 a length, and now it's $58 fucking dollars a length. You know what I mean? I'm like, God damn, dude. Like I can't triple the price on an oil tank. Like no one's gonna give me $650 for a fucking oil tank. You know what I mean? I will, you know. But like, you know, it's just crazy. I mean, not everything. Like that's probably like the more drastic example, but like, you know, everything went up material wise. You know?
Yeah. Dude, even like all of the abrasives that I buy in the shop have gone up, and like that's I'm, you know, that's not fucking steel. That's like it's fucking sandpaper and sanding pads.
Yeah. Oh, dude, a fucking metal blending wheel is like $30 fucking or $35, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
all of it. I mean, I mean, it sucks because sometimes I don't know till I fucking run out or I'm about to run out and I order it and I'm like, fuck me, dude. You know, I don't want to be the guy that like hikes my prices up, but at the same time, it's like it trickles down to the consumer eventually, right? The people making the stuff aren't going to foot the bill for all of it and make less money forever. No. Like there isn't enough fucking money in this as it was.
Yeah, and honestly, we're in an industry where, you know, like it or not, like our things that we're making are we're not making something for someone's, you know, for the most part, for someone's like grocery getter or like commuter vehicle. Like it's fun stuff or like cool stuff or hobby stuff.
We're not essential workers, dude.
No, so it's like you can't, you know, if everything else is going up, like you can't go up. Like there's only a certain range of like the stuff, like what we'd ever really be able to charge for something, you know. And I'm not trying to say like, we got to fucking jack everything up, but I'm like, no one's going to pay $500 for handlebars. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like
we can't do what they did to plywood.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
even though the stuff that we make our stuff out of has been done to us, it's like, you know, like, you know, it's like we have to just eat it, you know, and you know, And that's why it's important for people, like, this isn't my diatribe. I'm like, I don't care if you buy from me or anyone, like, but like, make sure you support some local shop like that, like,
Right.
like a local manufacturer, a local shop, a local artisan, like that
Right.
shit's more important than ever. Like, yeah, of course you can go and get something cheaper, like mass made, stamped out in fucking China, but it's not as cool and it's probably not as good. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
like
Absolutely. I mean, when people do hit me up and I've been busy, I'll be like, oh, I see, like, you're from here. Like, why don't you fucking hit this dude up? He's like in your town.
yeah, exactly. That's rad.
You know what I mean?
And
not that I fucking don't want the work, and that's
Yeah.
great. And like sometimes I'm like shocked and flattered by that because I'm doing shit for people. I'm like, fuck, dude, I know like so and so lives there, could do it, but I'll do it.
yeah,
But
yeah, no, it's like everyone's just got to be cool and look out for each other, man. Like you said, there's enough for everybody to fucking eat. Like, like
that's right.
And don't be fucking scared and fucking greedy because you're scared. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like I always tell people that too. I'm like, when someone calls to get on the list to get work done, I'm like, look, I'll put you on the list. We'll call you when we could get the bike in. If you find someone else to do it, I get it, and just let us know, and we'll take you off the list. Or like, or people call for us all the time. I'm referring people all over the place. Like, like we try not to do sport bike stuff. I got like 5 people I'll send them over to or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And it's just like there's enough for everybody. You know what I mean? Just fucking.
I had a guy yesterday ride up to my shop, and I told him, I was like, man, I'm super busy. I'm sorry, blah, blah. He's like, well, can you just fucking look at it, So he rides his bike, and it's a twin cam, which I'll work on them, but it's not like my bread and butter. And, it's got 41,000 miles. It's fucking the cam chain tester.
Yeah.
And it's just whining, and I'm like, dude, I go, I can't do it right now. Call 2 different people. One guy's like, I can get it in 3 weeks. Another guy knows, like, I can do it next week. I'm like, fucking go to this dude. He's fucking good at it. He's right up the road, and it's like you say, dude, the guys that are in this industry, for the most part, are all very cool with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that there's like I know some of like the old timer shops in town, like they all had like a rivalry kind of, It's like, oh, so and so did this, or like I don't think it's really like that for me anyway.
Yeah, the only time I've really encountered that has been with some of like those type of dudes, like, you know what I mean, like the old timer people, you know what I mean, like But
I mean, if somebody I know is doing shitty work, I'm not gonna fucking send people to them.
Absolutely,
but,
yeah.
But for the most part, like there's a bunch of great dudes in my area that are fucking wrenching on bikes, and for me right now, I told that guy, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get to it for months.
Yeah, you know what the problem is, dude? Because we've been doing this, is like there's no parts, like all like the SNS, like, and like the fueling, like like. Especially if someone's got an early twin cam and they want to go over to like hydraulic tensioners and stuff, like the update kits and stuff. None of that's fucking available right now, man. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like, we're like piecing shit together. We just finished one today for a guy, and it was like literally we had to go get like the Screaming Eagle plate and oil pump, and like we got him SNS fucking cams, but like it was like there was
do you have to go to the dealership to buy that then?
Yeah, and and because that was like literally the only one available for his bike, and fueling and SNS stuff was all sold out, and I told him, I go, like, I'll go get this for you just to get your bike back on the road, man, but like I'm not making any money on that part, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, you can't, because they sell it to you just like everybody else.
Exactly, yeah, and. And it's not no big deal. Like we'll do that for people. Like, but like, just remember this in the future. Like Harley ain't gonna send people around to some other shop to go get parts for you, dude. Like it's like we'll do that, but like the dealers ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Yeah. I can count on one hand how many times I've been to the dealership here in the last 10 years, but I like that bead blast silver paint. like the Harley Davidson brand paint for painting cylinders and heads.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even the wrinkle. I'm not gonna lie, their wrinkle paint too is fucking good.
Yeah,
it works really well, but it's $23 a can as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to promote them at all, but that fucking paint is awesome, and you got to go to the dealership to get it. And I go there to pick it up and walk in, and a buddy of mine works there, and he's like, "I'm surprised you didn't catch on fire walking through the door."
yeah. No, like
I got no love for them, or
Yeah.
Well, we're on the topic of events sponsored by them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I heard they were talking about getting involved in the apocalypse run.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that call.
Waiting for that check, that corporate check.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be here a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Harley's one of those weird companies where you love their things, but the company itself, you're like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been anything they've done that interested me since before I ever had one. So
yeah. Well, but you know what I mean. Like
yeah, right.
Sentimental, right. Like love for the things they did in days of old. You know what I mean? Like
right.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. But fuck yeah, dude, it was fucking cool being able to catch up and shit.
Hey, I really appreciate you having me on, man. It was an honor. I apologize to everybody that had to listen to my voice that only a mother could love.
Yeah. Well, it's weird too. Like, it's cool. There's always something in every episode like that. I learn about someone that I didn't know, or like I think people always hit me up and, damn, dude, that was so cool when you guys talked about that. I would never even thought about that or this and that. And that's why I keep doing this, man. Like it's cool because people are genuinely stoked. Yeah,
and I mean, I listen to, I would say 60% of the podcasts you've done, and half of them were of that 60% were people I knew, and I listen to them. I'm like, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I mean, how often do I get 2 hours to sit and talk to any of my friends? Not very fucking often.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one cool thing about like the lockdowns and stuff, is that it was cool to do this because it was like a way of keeping in touch with people and an excuse to do it. But yeah, so fuck yeah, man. But again, thanks for coming on. Everyone go check out, not everyone. If you're cool and you know how to ride your bike and your bike is dependable and you got a couple of dollars in your pocket, go check out the Apocalypse Run.
That's right. Thanks, man.
But fuck yeah, man. I'm not gonna hang up, but I'm just gonna shut this recorder off.
All right.
Get moving in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance. Honda, the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2023 Honda CR-V hybrid or 2023 Accord hybrid.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.